Yeah, it was a good hockey game. The building was loud and energetic, and that was needed for us. We won't have that this weekend, but I think we'll have as good a following as we can have with a lot of tickets. But they kept us in the game. We needed some some heroics and some bounces to occur for us late. There was a lot that went into that last play. We had a face-off there with 16 seconds left, but that occurred because of a really good effort by a couple of players. Arvid Kadaroff made a great back check and stripped a puck and fed Cash just outside the blue line. Cash took a shot that almost beat the goaltender, and then fought through for a rebound and was able to draw that face-off in the offensive zone with 16 seconds left. If he spins off or doesn't put the effort in, or Arvid doesn't put the effort in, we don't have that face-off. And we always tell guys every play matters. That was an old Bill McCall thing, that every play matters, and it does. In good habits, when you need them most, it seems like certain teams that have good habits, Mankato being one of them over the years, finds a way to win in crazy ways. Even last year, they were down 2-0 in the final, I think, late to Northern. And at least 1-0 late, but I think it was 2-0. And a couple years ago, 2-0 late in the final to Bowling Green, and came back and won a miraculous game. So good habits lead to the opportunity for good things to happen at critical times, and they did last weekend. There's a lot that we could have done in hindsight. I really didn't have any hesitation on it. Logan's been a great, first of all, a great clutch player throughout his career. He was playing a great game, was involved on a ton of scoring chances on that night, on Saturday night. But outside of that, he's always been a good clutch player as the number 3 shooter for us in shootouts. Go back to the GLI. He's always been a clutch shooter for us in shootouts, which is basically what a penalty shot is. So I felt good about putting that part of the game in his hands with the type of individual he is and how he handles those situations. And he made the play, and that's an individual effort, and then he makes a very smart play at the end of the game. All he's doing is throwing the puck at the net, but he's aware of the clock, aware it's winding down, aware that Gordo's going to the net for a potential quick rebound or a quick redirect. So he spun, and again, that puck could have been out of the zone. It hit something and stayed in the zone. It looked like the defender was trying to clear it from the top of the circle, a bank, an indirect out of the zone. And it went to where Logan was able to get it and turn spin, and then it was just a bounce from there. It went off the goalie's stick at an angle, came up over the top. Again, Gordo's around the net, causing the defender to be off balance. He takes a swipe at it, off balance, and instead of having a good control and being able to just bat it, he had to do it out of control. Didn't get the entire puck, and ends up hitting the goalie's helmet and going in. So, just a lot of things went the right way, and we've seen times where they haven't, in critical games, and in this time it did. So it was, obviously exciting for the community, exciting for the players. Well, it's been a good run for us, but it's been a better run for them. I don't know if they've lost a game since that series when we beat them in that series.
They're 9 straight.
They've won 9 straight now, and I don't know, that goes back over a month, so that goes back probably to when we played them here. So. They're a different team as well. So, again, it comes down at this time of year, I think it's 2 teams that are playing their best hockey of the year right now. They're steamrolling people. We're finding ways to win. So, we'll see how things go there. I've always had a great respect for, Tom Serratori, and what he does and his staff, and, They seem to ride our same wave as far as their when they're at the top of their game, we're kind of there as well, like a couple of years ago. And when they're kind of in a rebuild a little bit, they're like us. And when a rebuild goes pretty well, like both of us have gone through, we seem to be in that same spot too. So we're always right next to each other all the time, and kind of riding the same recruiting cycle. So it's a one and done to go to the national tournament for both teams, and I think both teams have confidence right now, so it should be a good hockey game. Yeah, like I say often with different scenarios, BT alternative, we could be watching someone else play this weekend. So you have to win on the road in the national tournament. You have to win. It all helps you if you can get through it to survive and move on. Would we love to play at home? Absolutely. Were we pulling for Lake State? I don't know. It's hard for me to do that. So, but in honesty, it was a good game that Bemidji played. I mean, I think they gave up, I don't know, it was one shot through forever, like the 8-9 shots at one point. I think they had maybe 5 or something, 22-8 or maybe something after 2. And, and in the third period when you're hanging on to a lead is what it is. And they were able to expand that lead. So, got to play somewhere. They're good at home. I like our team. We had a early in the year we went there, we beat them Friday night, and then we had a 4-goal lead Saturday night, and they beat us. So anything can happen. They're a dynamic team. They have tremendous players. Obviously, I think Luft has been. I thought he was going to win Player of the Year. I think I think Morton was a good choice as well. But I thought Luft would win. He got the defensive defenseman of the year, the offensive defenseman of the year. I think he was plus 16 in league play. Scholl, when he got back healthy, he wasn't in the first half. When he got back healthy, I think he lost 2 games in league play or something like that. Maybe 11-2 or something. Goofy. Really a tremendous winning percentage, and then he's rode that through the playoffs. Obviously Leighton Rhodes a tremendous player. They have firepower throughout their lineup. They have size and strength. They skate well. They pressure well. Their schemes are quick. Their transitions fast. Their defense gap well. Kind of talk myself out of this game, aren't I? I mean, they don't have a whole lot of weaknesses that, if any, and again they're very well coached. So it'll take a big effort for sure, and I like the way our guys are playing. So I think that they're saying, hey, this team's a good hockey team. I don't think they'll take us lightly, so I think it'll be a good game. We might be at 6 20-pointers, something like that on our team this year. With Chase on D, it's something like 5 or 6. Our whole top line, Moser I think tied his last year total with 31 points. Gordo is like 30, mid 30s, 36, something like
36 going into Saturday.
And then Logan's up to 29. I've always said that throughout his career, I've always said that he's a 23-point guy, but to me he's a 35 point guy, 33 point guy. He's evolved into that. You see why? Because he has the ability to play like he plays. Costa Purdy's at 20, so that's 4. And Jack Works hit 20.
Yeah.
So that's 6 guys at 20 points, which is pretty good balance throughout our lineup, from a whole bunch of different lines, and several in the teens and mid-teens. So it's been a really good second half. A really good. It happened through adversity. It happened through injuries, where other guys got ice time, gained confidence, added to our depth. And that's been a big part of our success going forward is the play of our entire lineup, very similar to Bemidji. The play of their entire lineup is what makes them dangerous, because somebody's going to score. They score goals. Somebody's going to score, and what I like about them is that they're defending well. They're really defending well. They're not giving up chances. They're not relying on the goaltender. He's there when they need him. So I'm looking forward to seeing them play. I'm looking forward to the atmosphere, the environment, and again, you're always with any situation, raising kids, whatever. It's how we all react in difficult situations. We all can do things when there's no pressure on. How do we perform when there's pressure on? Because that's where you learn the lessons of life, and so I'm always excited for those opportunities. Elimination games are always crazy. How are people going to perform with the pressure on? But I was thinking, it wasn't a month ago, 5 weeks ago. I was thinking, I haven't been part of too many losing teams that haven't finished 500 or better in my career. Like I think one, maybe, and there was, even though I thought we had a good team, we always thought we had a good team. It's taken a late run to put us, in a pretty good position. The real emergence with our group is our defense, our defensive core as a whole, and how they're transitioning the puck and how they're getting us out of our zone and things like that. That's really been the emergence, and some of that's happened through attrition, through injury. And Williams getting up in there, and or stepped up and gave us really good games, and some of that has been through attrition. And I'd love to play. We'll make our decision on what we're going to do this weekend with Evan, because I think Evan Orr's been tremendous for us. Campbell just got healthy, and so we went back with him because he adds a little bit different element to us and some different aspects of the game. But our depth has been what's really been the most pleasing part for me, and a big part of that has been the emergence of our defense. I don't look at it any differently, to be honest with you. I mean, you have to certainly keep a focus. You're probably out of your element to some degree, but we've traveled over that way. We'll keep our routine the same. We've gone to, we have 3 trips to Minnesota every year. So, but I don't look at doing things any differently in our preparation or anything. We're not, we prepare more for the team than we would for the environment, unless you're at like Fair State, where the rink just is a different rink to play in and things like that, shooting from everywhere, everything. This is just going to be a hockey game. Really, there's replication online, but it's still just the same game as last week, the week before, the week before. Still just a hockey game that you're trying to be your best for individually. And like I said, like the old Navy SEALs things, I've said in the past, I don't think people rise to the occasion. I think they settle to the level of their training, and I don't think someone just all of a sudden, Logan Piella just doesn't all of a sudden turn into a superstar. That intensity just brings out good, like those games, those environments bring out really good qualities and habits in him that maybe some other times earlier in his career he didn't have the same focus, but it didn't make him, you sink to the level of your training, and his training is to be a certain way when the game's online. That's why he's won so many championships through his lifetime, national tournaments as a youth and things like that. I don't think guys miraculously, that you sink to the level of your training. We become who we are in these situations, and that's why it's with critical things, medical profession, engineering, Navy SEALs training, Army Rangers. They're trying. Their job is to nullify those that can't perform when they're needed, when it's most needed. And what we're seeking as coaches, as parents, as teachers, trying to seek the characteristics that give you the opportunity to be the best, and they make us better as coaches as well. They make us better to do our job as well, to be in those situations. It's all experience over time.